Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Jacob Wile here, and welcome to something brand new for this channel. Instead of our usual Disney debates, tonight we introduce to you our first ever Dreamworks debate live. We have several interesting twists along to go along the way, so stay tuned for a very interesting debate tonight. Here are our questions. Between Shrek 1 and 2, what is the better Shrek movie? Or may the best Shrek win? Who is the most layered DreamWorks character? And what is the best DreamWorks film produced during their partnership with Ardman? All right. Now let's meet our contestants this fine crescent moonlit night. In this corner, he's no chicken and he's not going to run. It's Tiki.
I love you, Daddy.
And in this corner, he's from a holiday land far, far away. It's SandyClaws.
Do the roar.
Do the roar.
Joining me in the co-host chair is a dragon that you don't need to train, BlueDragonFive.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here till Thursday. Thank you.
All right. Now, how are you guys doing today?
I'm fine. I just saw Shrek the musical. I'm less than a week now, 5 days from my Disney trip. So that's pretty much the only thing that's taking up my my mind, except for this one thing. The only other thing that's taking up my mind right now is picturing the dragon song and dance number from Shrek the musical. Except instead of confessing her love to Donkey, she's singing about Spider-Man and Batman.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Dragon. I had to do it.
All right. Okay, now for this debate, we're going to shake things up a bit. Instead of having where the contestants pick their answer from beforehand and prepared their arguments, Tiki and Cindy will instead flip for their answers and choose between the available options. The coin will still function as it did before granting a point or losing one after the main round is over, however. After your choice is made, you guys will argue for the side that you get with an opening statement. Then after both have said your piece, you are free to debate openly. After we've heard enough, Dragon will sound R2-D2 to signal the end of the round. Dragon. In which case, he and I will deliberate and decide who won that point for that round. We will start with the randomizer to determine, or I guess in this case, start with the coin, determine who will choose first.
The crescent coin.
Yes.
And in round 2 and 3,
what would be the equivalent to R2-D2 for the DreamWorks canon?
Oh boy.
Would it be Do the Roar?
It's so refreshing how much you fall in love with Shrek 4, by the way.
Well, I haven't fallen in love with all of Shrek 4, but I have fallen in love with the Do the Roar meme. I'll tell you that.
Or it could just be random donkey quotes.
God,
making waffles.
No! I got it. The R2-D2 would be Donkey. Donkey.
Oh, God.
Donkey, go away.
All right. Well.
So let's do the flip a coin.
Yeah, but in rounds 2 and 3, the loser will decide. We'll get to flip and decide their answer.
Ah, nice.
All right, flip the coin.
Okay, well, first of all, whose heads, whose tails?
Okay, you guys can actually determine that before you flip. Tiki, do you want heads or I guess technically you could use the randomizer to see who flips the coin first.
No. We're not going to do that. That's too much effort.
Okay.
I'll take heads.
Say I'm heads, Sandy's is tails. Okay.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
Okay. Sorry.
No problem. All right, let's do it.
This is why we troubleshoot things.
For future reference, we're doing it Vegas style next time.
Okay, so
The suspense is killing me.
Oh. Oh.
Fails.
No. Haven't even going
Yeah,
over
that's
this, right?
not good, Sandy. This is one of those times. It's like Survivor. You don't want to see your name come up.
Okay.
okay, on to the first question. So
Mhm.
Sandy, that means you get to choose first.
Okay.
Between Shrek 1 and Shrek 2, which one is the better film?
Oh.
Whoa! Wait a minute. I thought the flip a coin. Hold on one sec.
Well,
I'm sorry.
we have to show the title card first.
I know. I thought that the flip a coin was just to determine who went first. I didn't know that Sandy actually got to pick. I thought
No, he
thought this
doesn't
was
get to pick. We got to go back to the coin to find out who has what. We just
okay.
gotta decide
Okay. All right, just making sure. Okay. All right.
So,
Continue, Jacob. I'm sorry.
okay, so and I thought the way that Sandy was going to get to pick first because that was the coin flip.
Oh,
Well, I'm going with Shrek.
Okay.
I still think I still thought it was random. You're throwing me off here.
Okay. I mean, this is why so, Dragon, how do you think we should do this?
well, we're approaching uncharted waters here, folks. My understanding was that we've said basically Sandy and Tiki. That's the order that the whole evening's going to be with. Sandy will go first, followed by Tiki, and then we'd flip the coin to see who has what.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was my figuring, but it's your ruling. Do you want to go like that, or do you want to just keep it simple and whoever wins the coin flip gets the pick? Like, what do you? It's your, either.
I mean,
The other one's more random. The other one's just more, it's more direct.
All right. I mean, I thought that's what I thought we were going with anyway. But okay, so Sandy will go first, and then the randomizer will pick who gets what.
Okay.
Well, no, the coin will pick who gets what. I'm sorry. God.
Isn't this Jacob's game?
The randomizer will pick who gets what on the second question.
Okay, so
for now, let's just say to keep it simple: heads, Sandy gets Shrek; tails, Sandy gets Shrek 2. Okay.
Mhm.
okay, let's work with it.
Okay,
Sorry, folks.
figure it out, folks. It's the trail we blaze, to quote Elder.
This is the first all random edition of Disney debates, in addition to being the first all DreamWorks edition. So it's like
the three blind mice were just walking in a cloud of fog.
it's literally layers upon layers to go with the Shrek motif of it all.
And
Okay.
hits.
All right. You got your
Shrek
pick.
anyway.
Yeah.
You get Shrek anyway.
All right.
So Sandy has Shrek, and Tiki has Shrek 2.
Yes.
I can work with that.
Right, and remember the loser goes first next round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
All right, are we all squared away now?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right then, Sandy, for your opening statement. Why? Pretty much tell me, why is Shrek 1 better than Shrek 2? Or different? Why is it the better movie?
Well, Shrek is not a complicated movie. It's the simple story of an ogre finding true love and living happily ever after. It's filled with so much original, fun comedy and so many terrific characters. It's a really great spin on the classic fairy tale environment. It doesn't overcomplicate things. It doesn't feel the need to do that. It's a very solid, compact story, and it rolls really well. It's one of those things you can watch over and over again.
Yeah, Shrek 2 basically does everything that the original does, and they're just like, hey, we're going to do everything better. So the animation's better, the characterization is better, we get better use of the side characters. We're introduced to literally like 5 amazing new characters in Puss in Boots, Prince Charming, the Fairy Godmother, and the King and Queen. These are all 5 characters who have like become mainstays in the Shrek franchise and in our collective memories. I mean, that's like a lot of new characters to introduce, but all 5 of them are introduced so well into the plot. And yes, Shrek is the more simple movie for sure. I'll agree with that. But Shrek is also the movie that comes with all the cliches. It's got the traditional, third act misunderstanding that kind of drags everything down. The villain in Lord Farquaad, while entertaining, doesn't really have a lot of screen time, and he barely interacts with the main hero. Whereas the fairy godmother just is so much bigger of a threat and actually has a lot of screen presence. Shrek 2, yeah, it might not be as streamlined as the original Shrek, but my God, it's got so much humor. It's packed to the gills with amazing humor. I feel like the pop culture references aren't as aged as the original Shrek movies' pop culture references. I feel like Shrek 2 has less crude humor in it. Like it's a little bit more. It relies more on dialogue and wit and pop culture than it does on crude humor. And just all around, it's just a flawless sequel. Like, there's a reason why people, like, even in this day and age when Shrek has become a joke, people are still talking about how Shrek 2 is one of the best sequels ever made.
All right, then. Good opening statements from the both of you. Now it's time for you to open the free debate.
And the opponents circle each other, folks. Question is, who's going to get the first jab?
All right, guys, kill each other.
I don't know. I really do feel like the original Shrek it's almost like uncomplicated to a fault. Like it's just a very simple road movie. There's like 3 different montages in it. Like I said, we get that very, very traditional and cliched, like, oh no, they have a misunderstanding. It's not like we can just communicate with each other for 5 seconds to figure out this misunderstanding. And frankly, the animation on Shrek it's fine, but I feel like Shrek 2 is much more refined in the animation, where the original Shrek, it was really good for its time, but a lot of it doesn't hold up. Like, specifically, Fiona's character model is just like, ugh. Compare Fiona's character model to King Harold from the movie, and King Harold is just so vivid and expressive, and John Cleese gives a performance that fits that animation, and it's just so much more balanced and nuanced. Anytime, Sandy.
What are you doing in my swamp? That's all I have to say.
Okay.
No,
I could keep going.
I can see Dragon just rolling his eyes right now.
Jason News of DreamWorks debates, everybody.
Look at him go.
Gee, it's
you wanted
hard to
this
argue
in the first place, Andy.
Well, the thing with Shrek 2 is you can't watch it as its own movie. You have to understand the first one in order to understand the second one. And with a sequel, I think a good sequel, you shouldn't need that. Take Spider-Man 2, for example.
So you're saying that Shrek 2 isn't a good sequel? Like,
no.
It's not just one of the best sequels ever made, which is kind of like popular opinion. Like, it's kind of the Godfather Part 2 of animated sequels in a way. But now you're saying it's not even a good sequel.
What? I never said that.
Yeah, you literally just said a good sequel should do this, and Shrek 2 doesn't do it.
Oh, did I?
And I'm like, no. You've got to at least give it credit as a good movie, if anything.
Oh yeah, of course, it is a good movie. I'm just saying, a sequel should be able to hold up on its own. It shouldn't need to rely on the first one as a backbone, and this one does.
Well, I don't necessarily think that, it's not like shoot, I'm trying to think of a franchise but I can't. It's not like an MCU movie where you'd be really lost if you weren't caught up with everything. Like the opening scene basically gets you caught up to speed with Fiona's backstory, and then we get the opening montage that shows us who Shrek is and what their connection is like, and then the rest of the movie, like I said, the new characters kind of take over in a way. So you don't need to see the first movie to really understand how great of a new character Puss in Boots is, for example.
Just give it to Tiki.
Are you? Oh God. Okay. All right. Again, you wanted the original Shrek, Sandy.
I know. I thought I could do it, but I couldn't.
Oh boy!
I mean, not even a jab in, man.
You hit him with a wet fish, man.
Okay. Do I even need to announce who got the point here?
No.
Oh man.
Your call, Jacob.
I'll announce it by saying this. Sandy, you get to go first this round.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Hey, maybe that was my plan the entire time.
Maybe.
Probably not, but
right.
maybe.
Can I just state for the record that this next question is like one of my favorite Disney debate concepts we've ever come up with?
In order to win this race, I'm going to shoot myself.
Whoa.
In order to win this race, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot.
Easy, Moses. Easy there. Okay, hold it. Jacob, we're having some audio stuff. Okay.
Is it fine now?
Not really. Still kind of problematic. Wait. Well.
Hello?
Okay, you're
okay.
good.
Now we're good.
Okay, I didn't have to leave this time. Good. All right. And for this is gonna. It's all ogre now. I had to. Okay, it was obligatory. I had to put it in somewhere.
All right. So this question is: who is the most layered Dreamworks character? But this question comes with a twist.
Oh yes, and this twist is it's good. The answers are going to be completely randomized.
I mean, we have a list of like this. This must be like what, like at least 30 characters here.
Yes. Well, roughly 30 at least.
Oh, what?
All I know
Hey,
is
Tiki,
how to Barry B.
how about this?
motherfucking Benson.
Tiki, how about this? Shrek 1 had the best one-liners, had the more iconic one-liners.
Little late for it, Sandy. Little late.
It's just coming to me now. The movie has better one-liners than like any other animated movie in history. What's that?
I mean, you know what? You're right. Like, not the gumdrop buttons.
Not to mention, I'm making waffles.
Anyway,
Of course.
back to the layered DreamWorks characters.
The way this is going to work is that there's going to have a randomizer, and between the top ones is the ones they're stuck with. They'll get to go again. They still get to randomize it again, but then if they don't, and again if they don't like it, then they're stuck with that character.
All right.
Okay.
So Sandy's gonna spin the proverbial wheel.
Benson, man, give me Shut up, Dragon! I'm trying to make my obligatory B movie reference.
You made it 3 times already. Go on.
I've been interrupted once. Barry B. motherfucking Benson. All right. I'm done.
Okay. Whoever's I think the way we just discussed this was whoever's at the top of the randomizer is the one that they'll get, right?
Well, yeah. Basically, since Sandy goes first, the top one would be Sandy's, and then the second one would be mine.
Okay.
So we're only paying attention to the top 2 on here.
That sounds good to me.
Yes.
Okay.
And you guys can lock in your answers if you like the character, or if you guys want, or if one of you wants to redo it, the other one will still get their character.
What kind of a name is Tulio? That's horrible.
What do you have against Tulio? That's a good name.
Okay, can I just say that Miguel and Tulio are like two of the ones that I really don't want to get because I, for the life of me, can't remember which one is which.
You are both breaking my heart tonight. Let's just someone hit the button.
I'm gonna break your heart too, Dragon. I've never seen Road to El Dorado.
God.
I'm just surrounded by disappointment. I just hit the button.
Hey, there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen.
They're both equally jerks. I mean,
I know, right?
they're basically the same character. They have these exact same motivations. There's no difference between any of them.
Someone hit the button, please.
Before Dragon has an aneurysm. Okay, the top one will be Sandy's unless he doesn't like it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Gosh, no.
Remember,
vindication.
You can re-roll.
I'm gonna re-roll. I'm not gonna get freaking Miguel.
I'm gonna lock in Puss in. Yeah, I'm gonna lock in Puss in Boots. I'm satisfied with that answer.
Okay, go back and randomize it so Sandy can have his.
Fucking Miguel.
Hope he gets Tulio.
Barry B. Motherfucking Benson. Prince Charming. All right.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
All right. I feel like this is a pretty good. This is a pretty decent matchup right here.
Who's RJ?
Bruce Willis character from Over the Hedge.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so coincidentally enough, our next character also features Shrek.
Yeah.
I have Puss in Boots. Sandy has Prince Charming.
Yeah.
Double dose of Shrek.
All right.
Oh,
nice.
from Shrek 2.
Yeah, right? That's funny.
Yeah, coincidentally enough. All right, get to the thumbnail, and then you guys can commence your statement. Wait, or do you guys want to do the flip a coin to determine who goes first?
No, we're gonna
thought
stick
Sandy
with.
was going
We're
first.
gonna stick with the whole Sandy's going first, followed by Tiki. It's just
Okay. Okay, that works.
Okay. Damn, I'm actually kind of disappointed that none of the really out of left field options came up for this, but whatever. We'll go.
Well, if we ever do another one of these, we could just take out Puss in Boots and Prince Charming and just do this question again.
Jacob, did you put all those characters in that picture there?
No, I just Google search Dreamworks characters.
I was gonna say because that's a lot of PNG files.
If I'm half these characters aren't even on the list. Like, let's see, the Flushed Away guys aren't on the list. The Ants guys aren't on the list. The Penguins aren't on the list. None of the Monsters versus Aliens.
Well, I mean, this is the best collage I could find.
No, I know. I'm not complaining. Damn it.
All right, so do I go first?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Prince Charm. Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Unless you guys want me to reintroduce the question.
Oh no, it's fine. It was which of the two are better, right?
No, who's the most
layered?
Or most layered. Okay.
Emphasis on layered. Again with the Shrek theme. Layered. Think layered.
Who has the most which character has the most depth?
All right. Well, Prince Charming. I mean, he's a charming guy. No, because he's
Come on.
Prince Charming, that character is a really just really interesting take on the entire Prince Charming concept from Cinderella. They play him off as a real mama's boy in the movie, but he definitely has this really, I guess, for lack of a better word, badass side to him. But he's not a badass. So it's really interesting how that all works. I'm not exactly, I think the fairy godmother just created him from one of her potions. That's what my guess is. That's what I've always thought, at least. So I can't imagine he'd have any daddy issues. Gee, this is sounding really freaking stupid.
Self-confidence, Sandy. Self-confidence.
Yeah, I know. There's not a whole lot to work with here. I mean, it's a.
You're one of the better characters on the list, or you got like in the upper 50% of the characters.
And remember, don't be afraid to pull any punches.
I guess if I'd seen those movies like sometime recent, that would help too.
And the one thing, if you saw El Dorado, you would have realized how great a choice that was.
Do you just want to wait? Do you want to wait until you hear Tiki's and then you can continue?
Screw it, sure.
Do you guys want to re-roll seriously?
No. We want you to go. Just explain your character.
Okay, I mean, Puss in Boots. I mean, what more do we have to say? He's one of the big breakout characters, not just of the Shrek franchise, but of the entire DreamWorks animated canon. I mean, he's a legend, man. He's the great Antonio Banderas voices him. What I love about Puss in Boots is Puss in Boots has this really interesting kind of combination to him where he's both very domesticated but also a badass at the same time. So it's almost kind of like what Sandy was getting at with Charming, where Charming is a mama's boy, but he's also kind of an intimidating villain. I feel like Puss in Boots is kind of an interesting inverse of that, where he's like a very domesticated house cat, but he's also a ladies' man. He's also a dashing hero. He's also this dangerous bounty hunter type character. And so for that reason, I feel like there's all these contradictions with him. Not necessarily contradictions in a bad way, but like more so contradictions where it's like, oh man, this is a really interesting guy. He's got layers to him. You know what I mean? And also, I feel like Puss in Boots, they do something different with him every movie. Where the first movie he is the kind of like the badass, the badass bounty hunter, and then in the second movie we get the body switch with Donkey. Or, I'm sorry, in the third movie we have the body switch with Donkey, and then in Shrek Forever After we have him as Fiona's cat, and the weight gain thing, and maybe some indication of how he got domesticated in the first place. And of course he even starred in his own spin-off movie. So yeah, there's a lot to go off of a Puss in Boots spin-off movie that I've admittedly not seen yet.
It's good though.
I'm sure it is.
I still got nothing.
God, oh, Sandy. Oh. Can we do a round 2 of this? Seriously? Can we just roll one more time and see if something better comes up for Sandy?
I'm just not sure what I have to work with here. I mean, I haven't seen those movies in ages.
You made the list.
No, I didn't.
No, okay, to be fair, I made the list. Sandy had nothing to do with making the list.
This is information that would have been helpful.
I just compared and contrasted what movies Sandy and I had actually seen.
We'll talk about it later anyway.
Fine, I'll allow one more.
All right, one more final roll, and then we're stuck with whoever we get on this one.
Anything can happen debates, folks. As in, anything can happen.
I just feel like I'm going to get screwed either way because it's just coming up with like random like layers off the top of my head is not the easiest quality I have.
You get Prince Charming again.
Grief.
Wait, seriously, did he get Prince Charming again?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, you can re-roll one more time.
I think it's kind of destiny at this point, either.
Why it's not Prince Charming again?
Probably gonna get Barry.
Okay, Donkey. Can you work with Donkey, Dragon? Can you do Donkey?
I'll do Donkey, yeah.
I can work with Donkey. It's going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, Sandy, Donkey, is that okay with you, my
Yes.
friend?
Yes.
Okay. No more.
You ate all your magic beans. Now make.
I'll do my best. All right.
All right. I mean, to be fair, I don't have much for my guy either.
Okay. So Sandy, redo your opening round, then you'll then go into the free debate.
Okay.
And Sandy, you know who my guy is, right?
Puss in Boots. All right.
No.
What do you mean?
Do you
Shifu?
want it to be Puss in Boots? I thought we were re-rolling for both of us.
Oh.
I thought we were rolling for Sandy.
Oh, just for Sandy?
Unless you, I mean, you can keep Puss in Boots if you want, or you can switch to Shifu if you want.
You know what? I'm gonna switch to Shifu just to keep it more easy.
Grief.
It's like when I turn up the difficulty setting on a video game. It's like, all right, let's do something that I at least don't have like, like I just rolled out like a whole list of why like Puss in Boots is honestly probably one of the most overpowered options on here.
There you go, my notes. Okay.
Hey, Sandy, are you aware of Shifu?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay.
Okay. Round 2.2.
Oh God.
Action.
Sandy.
Okay.
Donkey.
Well, Donkey is a pretty interesting character. He's not the type of guy you'd expect to be in a movie like Shrek. I've always wondered where Donkey came from, because we never ever really get, at least as far as I know, we never really understand where he came from before he was sold off to Farquaad's henchmen at the beginning of the first movie. So it just leaves open for interpretation, like really what his origin is. All we really know about him is that he's a talking donkey. He's not the smartest guy, but he's definitely not stupid. But it's kind of he's kind of an enigma. I think that makes him a little more interesting than what most people think. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly don't have a ton about Shifu. I haven't even seen Kung Fu Panda 2 or 3, so I'm just going off my memories of the first movie, and I haven't even seen that since it came out. So you're lucky, Sandy. You're lucky. Let's see, Shifu. He's an interesting kind of take on the mentor character, where I feel like he's a mentor character, like he's basically the Miyagi of the Kung Fu Panda series, except he's a little bit more layered and complicated than Miyagi. He's got his own tragic backstory. I don't quite remember what that tragic backstory is, but it's there, darn it. It's there. All right, I'm done.
All right. A definite improvement over the first round for both of you in retrospect.
Well, no, I think my opening statement for Puss in Boots was pretty damn strong. It was just definite improvement for Sandy, though.
He's got a tragic backstory, but I don't quite remember what it is. But it's there.
I don't, man. I know there are like some complicated things with him. I know he wasn't just like a pleasant Mr. Miyagi type guy, but it's been forever since I've seen those movies.
Well, no hints.
I know.
And all right. Okay, so you guys can just go about and do the free debate. Tell me which one, like why yours is the better one, and why it has why yours has more layers, and why that character is better overall.
All right, well, Donkey. I mean, when most people think, or when pretty much I think when everyone thinks of Donkey, they think, oh, he's just this stereotypical, comedic sidekick, and you'd be right for thinking that. But he's also got a little more character to him than what most people think. He's not a complete brainless, dork who's just making jokes the entire time. He's got some character to him. He grows the story along. And he's got an interesting backstory which no one's really aware of because they never fully explained, or they never explained it at all. So he's definitely got some character that leaves him kind of an enigma to some extent.
Sandy, he's okay. This is an argument where it's like I have seen Shrek 1 through 4 recently, and Donkey is like fucking useless in Shrek 2 through 4. Honestly, honest to God. Like, as much as I love Shrek 2, like, Donkey is just he's like a nothing character. In the first Shrek, fine, he's about as relevant to the plot as is a side character can be, because he's kind of like that person who gets Shrek to come out of his shell. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. He's a good best friend. But I mean, fuck, man. Like, name one thing that Donkey does in Shrek the Third, Sandy. One thing.
He talks.
Like, you see, if you would have just said like, "Oh, Puss in Boots," like he.
I haven't even seen Shrek the Third, so I wouldn't even know.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, when my argument here, I'm specifically talking about the first Shrek, because that's like, the definitive Shrek movie.
Okay, well, you know what? I might not be able to give examples for Shifu, Kung Fu Panda 2, but I can at least say that he doesn't, like, I know for a fact that he doesn't become a bad character. He doesn't become a problem for the franchise. Like, Donkey doesn't, even Donkey's a role, but like, even then, it's just like, okay, shut up, man. Like, you have way too many lines. I don't know. It's like, that's the problem with Donkey. It's just like, I feel like Donkey very much overstays his welcome. It's just like, it's like I said, the first movie he's fine, but then like as it goes on, it's just like they're just kind of like repeating their formula over and over again. Like, all right, it's almost like with Donkey, it almost kind of feels like a copy and paste. It's like, okay, he's gonna be singing his song, he's gonna, just be a jabbermouth, he's gonna annoy Shrek. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. There's just not much to him, and he has not been one of the more pleasurable parts of rewatching the Shrek series this month.
Alrighty.
He's got one of the best liners in movie history, though.
What, I'm making waffles?
Yeah.
But that's not any part of the question. It's
I know.
Don't make a weird character.
I'm just stating a fact. He's got one of the best one-liners in movie history.
And I mean, as for this backstory that you're talking about, he's a fucking fairy tale creature. I really don't think that fairy tale creatures even need backstories. It's like, we saw him with his owner in the first movie. He's a donkey that we presume maybe got cursed with the ability to talk, or was just, magically can talk. That's all we need. I don't really think we need like a big, and not to mention we get a little bit of like, not a backstory, but kind of like a weird alternate history version of Donkey. And the plot twist is he's slightly shaggier. Gasp. Oh, like I said, like with Shifu, it's like I don't really have a lot to say about him, but I can at least say that he's not a problem character for the franchise. Like, he's a very solid foundation for those movies. He's the typical mentor role, but he's got more going for him than just like a happy-go-lucky, like motivational mentor. He's very reluctant to train Poe at the beginning, which I think is really interesting. He's kind of balancing between training Poe and keeping track as the mentor for the rest of the Furious Five, or whatever the hell their names are. I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna be with Dragon Sense, surrounded by disappointment. Okay, but do you guys have anything else to say?
I should have gotten the Steve Carell squirrel. What's his name? Nutty or something?
It was Hammy. It wasn't on the list.
Right.
All right. That was an interesting round, for sure.
Yeah, I gotta look in the dictionary, see what it interesting round means these days.
Definitely a concept I'd like to look forward to trying again.
Okay, can I just say, like, in the future, just no more random debates? I feel like this is like a one and done concept that is kind of proven to be a failure.
No, it's good. I think we were a little too ambitious with it. I don't think it's concepts.
I just want to do damage control right off the bat. Like, this is not going the way I thought it would.
We'll iron it out a few times. Iron it out. We'll see how it goes.
I feel like it goes so much smoother when we have arguments already prepared. It's like, I mean, I can think on my feet, but no offense, Sandy.
Well, I mean, it really depends on what it is when it comes to thinking on your feet, because I can think on my feet. It's just, talking about obscure characters who are, just spouting out when, randomly. It's not exactly my...
I knew next to nothing about Shifu, okay? I knew he was like the Mr. Miyagi type character who is like a little bit darker than Mr. Miyagi. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I know. I think I gave a fair fight about Donkey as well.
All right.
I mean, is there anything else you could have added to my argument if it was yours?
Yes, but I won't get into it.
Okay, let's just keep on going.
Dragon, what do you think?
God, there's really not a lot to work with here. Either way, see, here's the thing. Tiki had a good offense. He had a solid offense, weak defense. I mean, like just like embarrassingly good. Oh gosh.
Like I know there's a backstory. I don't know what it is, but it's there.
I mean,
am I not wrong though? Is Shifu's whole struggle the fact that he's like kind of struggling to balance like teaching the new student with, like refining his old students? Is that not a thing?
Not remotely close, Tiki. Just had like a whole thing with Tai Long.
Fair enough. I took a stab and I missed.
You had this beautiful thing with Tai Long. You could have like woven the greatest, most beautiful Farmiga's tapestry out of, and you got nada. Just pitiful, but
okay. All right.
Yes. Anyway, and I mean, I think Sandy's opening statement was good. But then he basically was recycling that point, and then he went to waffles, and I think it all just kind of. I mean, Jacob, without saying it, like in full view, I'd say I think it might be time to enact that thing, possibly, but I'll leave that up to you. But it might be time to enact the thing. But if you want me to pick one, just tell me, and I'll pick one right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Dragon.
All right.
I was going to save this for the speed round, and I still will, depending on circumstances. And you know what I'm referring to, Dragon?
Yes.
Since neither of your arguments were extremely satisfactory, no points will be awarded this round.
Oh man, okay.
That was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like
I said, I was going to save it for the speed round, but...
I mean, you got to admit, that's kind of the danger of doing, like... I'm not necessarily sure I agree with that, because I, like, the whole point of the randomizer was to, like, kind of grasp at straws in a way.
Fine. Alright then, Dragon.
So you want me to pick out of the two of these guys who won that round?
Yes.
All right. I guess Tiki.
Since Tiki disagrees with it.
I mean, Tiki had an offense. Sandy has said nothing about Shifu, so.
All right, Tiki gets the point.
Okay.
And now that ruins us one of the surprises of the speed round.
I'm not trying to keep them on their toes, though.
It is. I mean, I could agree to that rule in, like, literally any other question, but this question was, like, specifically designed for us to grasp at straws, so...
And that's exactly what you guys did. You didn't work with it.
All right.
Hopefully this next one yields better results.
Yeah.
I think this next one will hopefully be the third time's the charm. Hopefully.
Okay, again, Sandy, you get to flip. You get to go first this time.
All right.
Okay, and to be fair, this is best Ardman collaboration, and they've done 3 films, right? Chicken Run,
Yes.
Yeah.
Were Rabbit, and Flushed Away. We just decided, like, look, no one's picking Flushed Away. Like, let's leave this one up to a coin flip. I mean, Flushed Away, I love you, but you get the runners-up prize.
Was Flushed Away an Ardman film?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, because I know it's in their style, but I didn't know it was there.
Yeah, it's hard.
You have Dreamworks and Ardman made 3 films: Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were Rabbit, and Flushed Away.
Wow, that was 2006, 1 year after Were Rabbit. Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, so I'm gonna flip a coin. Let's say heads, Sandy gets Chicken Run. Tails, he gets Were Rabbit.
Sure.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Okay.
Well, this would definitely prove to be an interesting question.
Here's the money question, folks.
It's a good thing we saved this one for last.
Heads. Okay, so Sandy gets Chicken Run.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Sandy, you have Chicken Run for best Ardman DreamWorks film, and Tiki, you have Curse of the Were Rabbit.
Okay.
And the question remains: what is the best DreamWorks Ardman film? Tell me on this. Like, tell me why this one movie is better than the other one. Like, you're putting statements to why it's good, and then in the debate question itself, just tell me why it's better than the other.
All right. Well, I mean, Chicken Run is kind of Chicken Run's obviously a masterpiece, but Ardman, they had done several other, or at least I think 3 other Wallace and Gromit feature shorts. Wrong Trousers, Grand Day Out, and the one with Shaun the Sheep, which are all before this, I believe. And Chicken Run's, it's just, it really takes everything those shorts had and just brings it to a completely new level with the characters, with the writing, with the humor, the animation. It's all really on point. Every time I watch that movie, just the pacing and the beats, they all just hit so precisely in the exact right spot. Some people don't like British humor. I personally love it. Chicken Run's the thing that really got me hooked on British humor. It just nails everything so perfectly. The color palettes are just beautiful. The sets are beautiful. The voice acting is just spot on. The casting was perfect. The music is. I listen to the music all the time. It's amazing. There's just very little I can find with this film that's flawed. Obviously, it has flaws, but I personally find it very difficult to pick them out.
All right. Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were Rabbit is like the blue meth of Ardman. I mean, it is very much like Ardman just like purified and crystallized into its best and purest form. It is sheer creativity. I mean, it's just like from top to bottom, the whole film, like, first of all, it's got a much more interesting premise than Chicken Run does, because Chicken Run is basically like The Great Escape with a pretty cliche liar revealed storyline. I mean, I love Chicken Run too, but you got to admit it does kind of tread on some very familiar territory when it comes to storytelling. But Curse of the Were Rabbit really subverts all that. I mean, we get like a ton of like, it's unapologetically British. It's got very quirky characters and very interesting humor. I feel like the 2 leads are just super likable, and just we already love them from the shorts, but this is like by far the most well-rounded they've gotten. Of course, it's got some really dramatic moments. It's got some really intense moments. It's got a really great twist where Wallace himself turns out to be the Were Rabbit. That's something that I definitely didn't see coming first time watching the film. All in all, I mean, it might be one of the best stop motion movies ever made. It might be. It's up there.
All right, definitely strong openings all around. Now, you guys, don't be afraid to bring out the clay and kill each other.
Bring out the hammers. Anyway.
Anytime you guys, anytime.
Well, I mean, personally, for me, it's difficult to jab on Wallace and Gromit because I'm just a huge Wallace and Gromit fan. I'm a big Ardman fan in general, but I'm a huge Wallace and Gromit fan. But you know, I really don't think Where Rabbit lived up to I guess the glory of Wallace and Gromit. I think it had a lot of missed opportunities. I think the ending was anticlimactic. I actually watched the Where Rabbit back in May because it was on Netflix, and the ending just it didn't do anything for me. I mean, you know, Wallace turns out to be the Were Rabbit. You know, the halfway through the
You mean the ending with the super dramatic implied death of Wallace, where it's like we all know that like it's almost like a Toy Story 3 moment where it's like we all know that Wallace is going to be okay in the end. Like they're not really going to kill him off. But my God, in the moment, it's one of the more powerful implied deaths because they really play it up.
Maybe I'm forgetting something here, but I think all in all, Were Rabbit had a lot of missed opportunities. It didn't live up to the standards that Wallace and Gromit that the previous shorts had set for the characters and for the franchise. Chicken Run, it's they could have gone very easily. They could have gone and made a Wallace and Gromit, right off the bat. Wallace and Gromit was hot and fresh at this point in time. They had just done three separate extended short films, which are all met with positive reviews, and so I think it was kind of I want to say risky for them to go and do something completely different with Chicken Run, and it completely blew everyone out of the water. It got some great reviews. I think Spielberg himself was even involved in it at some point. He wanted to do something with Ardman, if I'm not mistaken, and it definitely proves itself as a really classic film. I mean, the sequel was just announced a few months ago, and I mean, I don't hear any Wallace and Gromit sequel being announced anytime soon. All they've gotten is a series of mini shorts online or in the UK, but Chicken Run I think has definitely proved to everyone that it's an iconic stop motion masterpiece from a studio that was just beginning to extend its roots in American culture at the time of its release. So it did its job, and it did its job more than well.
I mean, I really don't see how you can sit here and say that Curse of the Were-Rabbit was like a disappointment by any metric or any measure, because I remember when the thing first came out, like people were like losing their shit about it. Like they were saying like, oh my God, like this is rivaling Pixar. And, and it even won Best Animated Film. I mean, granted, it beat Cars, which isn't exactly the most beloved Pixar movie, but still it won Best Animated Film at the Oscars. I mean, I don't see how a movie that's just universally loved by critics, universally considered to be one of the best animated films, of the decade. I definitely say it's considered to be a top tier film of the 2000s. Chicken Run, I don't know, man. I feel like with Chicken Run, there's a lot of nostalgia there, but I feel like at some points it kind of boils down to like nostalgic goggles. Where, I mean, like I said, I really do feel like the two main characters in Chicken Run are fine, but it all kind of boils down to a liar revealed storyline. And while a liar revealed storyline doesn't necessarily kill a movie by any stretch, we've certainly seen great films use a liar revealed storyline. But I mean, I feel like even though Wallace and Gromit is based on predetermined characters, it does more new things than Chicken Run does, because, like I said, Chicken Run, it's unapologetically basically like a stop motion remake of The Great Escape for all intents and purposes. It's like anthropomorphizing The Great Escape, and Curse of the Were-Rabbit, yeah, it's working with the werewolf genre. Sure, it's a Halloween movie, sure, but within all that, there's some super creative stuff. Just some really, really, I mean, like I said, I feel like Wallace and Gromit is like way more unapologetically British than Chicken Run is. I feel like Chicken Run is trying to emulate an American movie in The Great Escape, whereas Curse of the Were-Rabbit is just like, no, we're British. We're going to go all out with it. We're going to, embrace the British humor. We're going to embrace the quirkiness. We're going to embrace the, like the poised and posh, like kind of like social satire that is often found in British humor. And the end result is a film that, while maybe not quite as nostalgic as Chicken Run is, I mean, I think it's pretty evident that it's overall the better product, the better film. Also, just saying Chicken Run side characters don't kind of leave something to be desired. Like I'll give you Miss Tweety as a bad guy. Miss Tweety is a bad guy, is an excellent villain, but I mean, other than Miss Tweety, I don't even remember the names of any of the side characters.
Babs, what's it? Sorry, I'm trying to look something up here to help further my argument.
You don't get to look shit up. I didn't get to look shit up when I was talking about Shifu.
Go then do it. I'm just looking at some numbers here.
All right. You do realize I could have very easily gone onto a Wikipedia page about Shifu and just crushed you, like even more than I crushed you.
I was just checking the box office numbers between Corpse Bride and Were-Rabbit. That's all I was doing.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, oh my god, Corpse Bride. Fuck Corpse Bride, man.
That's a little unnecessarily
I was genuinely curious because I remember when those two movies came out and they were both stop motion. I wanted to see both of them.
Corpse Bride is just I'm just going to be really Corpse Bride is a nothing movie, man. It's a nothing.
Are we going somewhere with the Corpse Bride?
No, we're not. I just want to rant on that. Like, Corpse Bride was such a big disappointment.
Oh yeah, it is. I was just checking to see because one is Tim Burton, one's Ardman. They both had a pretty big advantage, but I would think Tim Burton have a bigger advantage over Ardman. Anyways, that's completely beside the point. I'm finished making my arguments.
Yeah,
I've said everything I need to about Chicken Run.
Yeah, so have I. Pretty clean cut debate.
Okay, that actually went rather well.
Yeah. 1 out of 3 ain't terrible.
Got a little muddled toward the end with all the Corpse Bride talk, but I think it's but on the whole,
like that movie isn't an inherently bad movie, but it's just such a disappointing movie.
I just don't understand why we're bringing it up.
And it's not even DreamWorks.
What I'm saying.
Okay, this definitely, I could definitely call this a major improvement over the previous 2 rounds.
Yeah.
You guys for sure made better. I think in the future we should definitely limit the amount of content to just 2. To just 2 things.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think you guys both raised solid arguments all around for everything. You guys would raise the positives and negatives of each other. Your perspective, Dragon?
Well, I'll tell you. I feel Sandy knocked it out of the ballpark with the opening statement. I really do. And I think it was going really strong, really, speaking from the heart. I was feeling it so much. And then Sandy delivered this big bombshell at Tiki initially, where he said, does Wallace and Gromit have a sequel? No. I was like, oh, boom, wow. Good on Sandy. Wow. But on the flip side of that, of course, there are other it wasn't really brought up. I'm going to drudge it up here. But the point is, basically, some other arguments, counterpoints that could have been made about the sequel that weren't made, but it's not important. But anyway, getting to Tiki's side of things here. So, Tiki had a solid opening as well, but I feel Tiki kept the momentum going, and he really held his ground very well. I feel he was everything Sandy lobbed at him. Tiki either deflected or he filled the holes from the shots fired. I feel he did a really solid job. I'm in Tiki's corner this round. He really defended himself throughout the round. He regained the ground he lost. He won an Oscar. The whole anti-climax. He basically defended against the anti-climax point with the whole. Wallace almost died, man. It was big. I do feel he could have maybe strengthened. I think he could have brought it home in a big way, and he did. But that's fine. I'm just saying a little note for the future. I feel like it was like all there, and then we got sidetracked with everything. There's like, he could have brought it home. But I think that my vote's for Tiki. That's just my vote, though, Jake. What do you think?
In my opinion, you could have used the whole doesn't need a sequel kind of argument against that.
Yeah, and
Sure.
Well, I mean, it's Wallace and Gromit. There's always new stuff for them to do. It doesn't exactly have to be a Were Rabbit sequel, but just be it. I'm not really helping myself in any way.
There is one last thing I wanted to point out before you deliberate, Jacob. One last thing is that Sandy repeated his points against Wallace and Gromit, implying that he didn't have a lot, in my estimation, really against the movie. Just saying that, it was disappointing. It was disappointing. Not really citing why, and basically saying anti-climax, and of course subverted. Well, no, there was actually a climax there, but that's them. So what do you think?
Yeah, there was a climax. For me personally, it never really impacts me the way I think it should, especially since I love those characters so much.
I would have liked to hear that during the argument.
Okay, this is definitely a closer round. You guys are within inches of each other, basically literally within inches of each other, but just barely. Tiki gets it.
All right.
Good.
And just so you know, yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right, I was going to say that that was not easy. Trying to bash Wallace and Gromit, or bashing it more or less. I love Wallace and Gromit so much, and I really love the Were Rabbit movie. But yeah, I just want you guys to know that I would have never said any of that if I didn't have to.
Right. I mean, they're both excellent movies, and I do love Wallace and Gromit versus the Were Rabbit as well. So I got you there.
Okay, can I just say for the record that I think Chicken Run is the far better movie, and I actually think Were Rabbit is pretty overrated.
Topsy-turvy round.
Just for the record, I like Chicken Run far more than I like Wallace and Gromit.
Well, geez. Well, this is definitely an interesting development. Okay, it's currently 3-0.
All right.
So I can bring up the stopwatch, and it's time as we go into the speed round.
Well, yeah, but first we got to do the coin.
Well, we kind of have the rule of if someone has 3 points, we kind of forgo the coins, and you have 3 points.
Is that a rule? Okay, sorry.
I think it's the first time it's ever happened. Well, I mean, look, let me put this way. It's my rule. So, Jacob, what do you? You're hosting this time around. So, do you want to give them the coin option this go around or no?
Okay, I mean, if Tiki can't flip since he has 3. But Sandy has a chance to at least get 1. If it lands on tails, he doesn't lose anything.
I'm good with that. Is Tiki you okay with that?
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
All right. Well, Sandy, do you want to flip?
Sure. You don't want to.
I mean, you won't lose anything. So you have everything to gain, but nothing to lose.
I still think this should be like Jeopardy, and we could get negative points.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, usually that's how it works. Usually that's how it works, because the certain guy once did actually get negative points in this thing.
So what's tails?
It means you don't get
no points, unfortunately.
Oh shoot! I'm losing.
That means it's 3-0.
Usual.
That means it's still 3-0.
3-0, and we played a 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And this one will follow standard speedrun rules. Whoever speaks first goes first.
All right.
Okay. The first question. What is the best use of a song in a Dreamworks film? It can be original song or a licensed one.
I'm a believer.
What songs have they used in DreamWorks movies?
A lot.
I know. Could you just give me a few?
Let's see.
'Cause all I really know is the ones from Shrek, and that's not a whole lot.
See, I'm a believer. Living La Vida Loca. There's Kung Fu Fighting from Kung Fu Panda.
There's Deliver Us.
I Need a
There's-
Hero, of course.
There's It's Tough to Be a God.
Yeah, not
Oh
that
my
one.
god, I forgot about that song. Oh god, you just gave me a nostalgia trip.
I'm gonna go with I Need a Hero from Shrek 2.
Good choice. Good choice.
Okay, it's Tiki going first with the I'm a Believer from the end of Shrek 1.
All right.
30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah. I'm a believer, I think, set the standard for a lot. Standard, like, for better or for worse. It was a trendsetter when it came to the hey, let's end on a dance party. But beyond that, I mean, it's such an uplifting way to end the movie. And I feel like, of course, the lyrics, everyone says this, the lyrics feel like they were written for Shrek. And it's such a good fit for Shrek that even Shrek the musical, it's the one licensed song that they use in Shrek the musical. So that should tell you something.
All right, Sandy. I Need a Hero.
All right, well, I Need a Hero just fits really, really well for that climax of Shrek 2. Not only because you know the lyrics fit so well within the context of that scene, but because it plays so well to the orchestral side of the battle outside the castle that Shrek and his friends are going through with Mongo and all of that. Those two elements, the singing and the orchestra, they tie in really, really well together, better than any other movie I've seen in a DreamWorks song I've seen in DreamWorks. Anyways.
All right, 15 seconds. Tiki.
Gonna need a couple seconds here. God damn it. I mean, all right. I feel like I'm a Believer is more present than I Need a Hero, because I Need a Hero is like you're focused on a lot of different things at once, whereas I'm a Believer, it's just like, hey, yeah, let's end on the song. Awesome. That was weak.
Give your opinions to yourself. All right, Sandy, 15 seconds.
Well, I think I Need a Hero really fits really well, especially again for that ending, because Shrek has proved himself to Fiona, but he needs to prove himself to their parents as well. So he needs to prove himself as a hero. So I think that really fits really, really well. Anyways, that's it. I could have said a lot more, but I didn't have time. I'm sorry.
All right, even both strong opening statements. I will say though that the two ending ones like kind of like are actually both kind of weak, considering. Well, mainly for Sin, it's like that's not exactly Shrek trying to prove it. It's like it's really from the fairy godmother's perspective of her trying to get Fiona to fall for Prince Charming, and the duality of it playing for Shrek.
Yeah, I know.
And Tiki really didn't make much of an argument in his second part. Other than it's more focused.
I mean, regardless, the whole movie is about Shrek trying to prove himself as, you know, appropriate for Fiona.
So altogether, I think Sandy gets this point.
Yeah, I kind of realized I was screwed on this one. I mean, I should have thought of honest to God, the reason I went with I'm a Believer is because I saw the musical. So what are you gonna do?
I'm surprised none of you picked. Hey, now you're an all-star.
Well, All Star's a meme more than anything else.
But it's cool.
They don't start.
It's so well integrated into that movie. That opening is so iconic.
They don't stop coming, and 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 they don't stop coming. Okay, Sandy's on the board, 3-1.
3-1. All right.
Never tell me the odds. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. This will be another interesting one. I'm gonna Dragon. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna skip the number 2 one because I do want to include something like this in here.
Okay.
What is the worst DreamWorks movie of all time?
Oh man, there's so many to choose from. Oh.
Yep. Take that.
God. Oh man. Oh, there's some bad ones. There are some bad ones. Let's see.
I'm gonna go with Shark Tale.
Okay, I should have said that first. You know what? I'm gonna go with Shrek the Third.
Shrek's pretty much seeping into all these questions.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's Shrek the Third about again?
Basically,
Exactly. You just made my argument for me, Sandy.
No, because I know Rumpelstiltskin was in the fourth one, but I have absolutely. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember now. Okay.
yeah. So, okay, to Sandy, Shark Tale, 30 seconds.
Well, DreamWorks and Shark Tale, it's like they're trying to ride off the back of Pixar at this point. Which is really sad because this Shark Tale was after Shrek. I mean, that was what 4 years after Shrek. So they did not need to ride off the back of another big animation company like that. The story is it's so lackluster. It's a real downgrade from what we were used to with Shrek. It was a real disappointment.
Okay, Shrek the Third, 30 seconds.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. I'm not gonna lie, Shark Tale's actually kind of a guilty pleasure for me, believe it or not. I actually think that it's got some interesting themes in it. It's got some social hierarchy in there. It's a pretty dark DreamWorks movie. It takes some risks. Shrek, just fucking nothing, man. Shrek the Third derailed the whole legacy of the entire Shrek franchise in one fell swoop, and it just never recovered. Shrek the Third is the reason why the Shrek franchise is a joke. It's nothing. It destroys everything.
Well, Shrek 2 and Shark Tale came out the same year, and it's very apparent where DreamWorks priorities were set. And I think they shouldn't even made Shark Tale if that's the reason, that's why they did it. There's no effort behind it. The story is just crap. Everything is just crap.
Okay, I won't count those last two craps in the argument.
Okay.
Fair enough. Thank you, Jacob.
Gotta keep it square.
So just to be clear, it's just crap. It's not crap.
Yeah, it's just.
Does anyone know where Ron Perlman is to explain this?
All right. At its best, Shark Tale is kind of an interesting sub thing, and at its worst, it's a very memorably bad movie. Shrek the Third is just nothing. No one ever talks about it. No one references it. No one even knows what it's about. It's got a boring plot.
I see. This is actually definitely another interesting one to decipher.
First off, 2 really bad movies. Let's just mention that right out the gate. 2 really bad. You guys
Can I just say one thing? Will Smith fish. End of case.
That won't work. We won't count that into the argument, but
I know I didn't need you to. Just implant the image in your head. That's all I wanted.
At least it gave us Jack Black Shark.
It's not a huge improvement.
I know. I was gonna say that's like.
I didn't say it was.
At least Jack Black Shark isn't like weird and uncanny like Will Smith Fish is.
De Niro as a shark.
Gosh.
One thing I like about that movie.
Okay, you guys both did bring both some interesting arguments in there. So, Dragon, what do you think?
Well, bear in mind, 2 very bad, and both with. I think Sandy's showed a lot of improvement this whole debate here with this opening statements. Now, again, I don't point here, and again, a part of me would give the hesitation I have is that Tiki was equally as strong, and he opened really strategically. He opened with compliments to Shark Tale, which I thought was a really good strategy. And I think personally, again, I think they're evenly matched with the exception of that, and I think that gives Tiki the point. That's my assessment of it. What do you got?
Yeah, that's where I was leading. Like Tiki actually did actually bring some personal story into Shark Tale. Like it does have the capabilities of being a guilty pleasure kind of movie, whereas Shrek the Third basically just be a movie. Like it be like
Third just exists, man. I mean, that's the most interesting thing about Shrek the Third is the fact that there's nothing interesting about it.
yeah, and then the fact that the Shrek the Fourth is actually marginally better, marginally. But yeah, Tiki gets this one.
Good.
Okay.
4-1.
Okay, for this one, this is gonna be another new concept.
Oh dear.
Dragon knows what I'm talking about. The yes or no question.
Yes, we're making sure we get this one in. Okay.
You know what? I had a really great idea. If they made a Shrek movie, it's called Into the Shrekverse, where all the Shreks from all the different universes meet.
Just like all different Shrek memes, basically.
Exactly. That'd be amazing. Into the Shrekverse.
Or at least, or Shrek becomes aware of his ironic status.
That'd be the David Lynch version of Roger Rabbit.
You gotta be like being John Malkovich.
Yes, that's a better example.
Or being Shrek. Okay, so Dragon, the yes or no question, do you want to go with that one?
Well, yeah, we got to go with that one. We got to make sure we get it in.
Okay, this will be an interesting one. That's kind of like a question I've been wanting to do for quite a while now. It's a yes or no question. Kind of like you guys, it's like yes or no. Did Shrek deserve the first Best Academy Award for Best Animated Feature over Monsters Incorporated?
Yes.
All right, I'll go with no.
Okay.
Right. I just been wanting to try out a yes or no question for a while. I think it works, and I think it works well with the subversiveness of this debate.
This one could be for all the marbles, because Jacob, correct me if I'm wrong, if Tiki gets this point, he's winner chicken dinner, am I right?
Winner chicken run dinner.
Yes! Yes!
Yep, if Tiki gets this, he gets the Dreamworks Cup.
All right.
Who was first, me?
Yes,
Yeah.
you win. Sandy, you win with yes. Shrek did deserve the Oscar over Monsters Incorporated. 30 seconds.
All right. Well, Shrek did deserve the Oscar because Shrek is a lot more original than Monsters Incorporated. At that point in time, or I guess several years after, but Monsters Inc. is basically just real monsters with some original story elements included into it. Shrek is completely original. If you look at the material for that movie, who would ever think of an ogre and a donkey becoming friends and going on this quest to rescue this princess for this tyrannical king? That's just so incredibly wacky. And it's unconventional. It's a movie like that would get the Oscar, and it's just I think that's why it deserves it because it shows that even the. All right.
Okay. Can I get 3 extra seconds?
Well, no. The bell went off and he stopped talking at 30. Why do you need 3 extra?
On my watch, it said 33 when he stopped talking.
All right, well, I don't see any problem with that.
He's pretty much stumbling at that point, though.
Okay, fair enough. I'll stick with 30. That's fine.
I really don't think you got any extra in that one.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
He's pretty much just trying to stop talking at that point.
All right. Okay.
So Tiki, you're saying no, Monsters Inc. No, Monsters Inc. deserved the Oscar. 30 seconds.
Okay, so Monsters Inc. was a game changer for Pixar in a lot of ways. I mean, I feel like Monsters Inc. is like almost single-handedly responsible for like the inside-out tissues of it all. It's like it's Pete Docter's first movie, and he, of course, is going to go on to lead the studio in the future. It's got a terrific, ambiguous ending. It's got amazingly lovable characters. It's got groundbreaking animation. And yeah, the plot might be a little recycled, but every Pixar plot is a little recycled. I think.
Ground baking.
I know, right?
Would you say it broke new ground?
It broke new ground.
Ralph.
All right. Well,
is that
Pixar already established themselves as a very well.
Then stop the clock and you can start over. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Pixar had already established themselves as a very, very well-established animation company. DreamWorks, they had made a few things, but nothing compared to the type of reception Shrek got. And I think, as a company, DreamWorks deserved that honor and praise, because Toy Story had already gotten the award prior to that for the what was it? Whatever it's called.
The honorary.
Yeah, the honorary.
I think the important distinction to make with Monsters Inc. is that before that, we had the first two Toy Story movies and A Bug's Life, which everyone kind of regards as like a weaker Pixar movie nowadays. Monsters Inc. was really the first one to be like, hey, we can have like really innovative new ideas here.
Okay, this is definitely interesting. I'm definitely glad I went for this question. It's definitely. Although, Tiki, I have to say, like, your first argument was like being like how it impacted the future, let alone in the moment. Like you say, it was like it's Pete Docter and went on to do Inside Out. That's basically all your first argument was.
Well, all right.
But it's like I mean, it was it worked.
Yeah, I'm not.
Hey, Sandy, you had a good around first argument too. Talked about how talk about how DreamWorks was being the new kid on the block. Dragon, your take.
Well, here's the thing. I think Sandy went for the jugular, and I really have to respect that on this one. I really think he didn't, he really firmly locked into it there, and then he just, he kind of made the point at the end. I thought it was a really important point to him to make, because, I think for a while it was Tiki's round, but then I think Sandy, he's saying, it was DreamWorks' big break, and basically it was like, he was a little guy getting the Oscar and for the first time. But by the same token, I mean, again, Tiki's hitting it really strong. Again, this is the origin of kind of the Inside Out era. We have years later, Pete Docter's first hit, his big break. Again, it's he lobbed some. I'm just making sure I got it right here. I mean, Sandy came with this point of, it was already established, and, I believe he brought up, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob, he brought up the Special Achievement Oscar Toy Story received. Am I correct?
Yes. That'll be fair kind of was near the end, and I had to put in the honorary thing.
Right. That's a good point.
Well, we all know it got the award. I said it got the award, but I still had time.
Right. Well, sure. But okay, so my point is, I think Tiki, he made the points that that it had qualities that deserved an Oscar. That Monsters Inc. had qualities that deserved an Oscar, and I think Sandy argued, the company deserved the Oscar. So I feel, if we're looking at it as a movie, I don't know. I mean, I think Sandy dug more into the systemic reasons why I got the Oscar. I think Tiki went to the direct reasons the movie deserved the Oscar. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. I think I'm leaning. Part of me is leaning towards Tiki, but I think I gotta, being objective. I think I gotta go with Sandy. I think so. Jacob, it's your call. You really have to decide this one. I gotta take. That's my analysis. You make the call.
I know this is a tough one here.
It's a toughie. Epps is probably the toughest one we got this installment.
I mean, you guys both laid down excellent arguments here. Although I think as a whole, for like reasons as and Sandy brought up the culture of the time, and brought up he brought up how subversive it was and stuff like that. I think Sandy deserves this point here.
Yeah, he was awfully bloodthirsty. I gotta respect that. So.
In strength of argument, I think I'm going to go with Sandy here.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Everything that has transpired has done so according to my design. Hope you guys got that.
Sounds familiar.
Never mind.
Okay. This one could all. The next question will potentially also be for all the marbles because it's currently 4-2.
I mean, to be fair, every question now could potentially be for all the marbles.
Yes.
And for the record, Tiki had the correct answers. We'll point that out.
Oh man.
Anyway.
So you think Monsters Inc. did
Shots
deserve
fired at the original Shrek.
Again, it was it had its reasons, and again, Sandy got the I don't know.
We're going on 2 hours, guys. We better wrap this up.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay.
The next one.
Okay, and how about we make this the next one for all the beans, or never mind.
I've got a pretty significant lead. I'd rather just play it out.
All right. So, Dragon, which one do you think we should do?
Let's keep it simple. Let's just do the let's do the. You want me to just say it?
Yeah, but go from the email you sent me earlier.
All right, number. Let's do number 5.
Okay, number 5. Best DreamWorks villain.
Fairy Godmother.
Let me look these up here. Ugh. That guy from El Dorado, man, he's ugly. Like, wow, that nose is just terrible. Like his entire face is literally that giant nose.
Are you going with him or not?
We're going on 2 hours, Sandy.
Mrs. Tweedy. I'm just gonna go with Mrs. Tweedy.
All right.
Not because I think she's better than Fairy
away.
Godmother, but just because I mean, I don't really care at this point.
Enough.
Okay, best DreamWorks villain, Tiki, Fairy Godmother.
Yo. Yeah, Fairy Godmother is basically the ultimate. I mean, she's got screen presence. She's got a classic villain song. She's got really interesting motivation. She's got really good powers. I mean, God, I could just keep going. And of course, we already talked about how great that I Need a Hero moment is, and she's like at the center of that. I feel like she's like one of the few Shrek characters who hasn't been memed into just being a joke. I feel like the original intent of her character is still there even after.
Sandy, Miss Tweedy.
Well, for me, the Fairy Godmother has always been a great villain, but Mrs. Tweedy has always been a great villain, not because she's exactly more original than Fairy Godmother, but just because she's so freaking terrifying. And her looming presence over those helpless chickens is just, well, I shouldn't say helpless, but just over those chickens who are so helpless compared to her giant pie machine. She's terrifying. She's a terrifying figure who has a huge presence over the entire course of the picture, and it's just it's different. It's a different approach.
I mean, there's not really a ton to Miss Tweedy's character besides just being the warden in a Prison Break movie. There's not really a lot of layers there. And whereas Fairy Godmother, I mean, she's just like the most intimidating of all the DreamWorks villains. I didn't want to like start a sentence and then not be able to finish it. So
Lord Shadow doesn't work.
I think Mrs. Tweedy is more than just a warden in a prison movie. The filmmakers know how terrifying she is, and they use it to their advantage.
in her blocking. Why is that timer not going?
Yeah, sorry.
You may want to.
Sorry about that. Hold on. Do you want to restart?
Okay.
Sorry about that.
The filmmakers know how terrifying this character Miss Tweety is, and I think she's more than just your stereotypical warden in a prison movie. I think that's kind of downgrading to the character because she has a backstory. She has a history with Mr. Tweety and his father and their fathers and all their fathers all being chicken farmers, and she doesn't want that to be the same for her. And yeah. Anyways,
All right. Okay.
Gesundheit.
You okay there?
yeah.
All right.
Oh. Bless you. Okay, I think all around you guys made both very good arguments there. Although I think Tiki raised more good points as to why Fairy Godmother's a better villain.
Mm-hmm. But let me just say this. You are going to be a pie. It's my favorite line in that movie.
That's it. Dragon, you have any objections?
I feel Sandy could have made. I think Sandy could have made this more. I think he could have stole it if he made certain points, but he didn't. I think everything was there for him, but if he just tied it together with the realization of, oh my god, he's gonna turn chickens, these living beings that we've come to love in the movie, into pies. How twisted is that?
If you would have gone the Cruella de Vil route with it.
Yes, or again, there's some other darker places you could have gone for a comparison. But my point is, I think he could have tied a bow on it, and he didn't. So I vote for Tiki.
Tiki wins.
All right, woo! Celebrate good times. Come on.
What you mean? He's a believer?
Let's have a dance party, guys.
And
Marshall Men's with a dance party.
My personal best villain would have been Shen from Kung Fu Panda 2.
Is he the chicken guy?
He's the peacock.
The peacock, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a good one. That's Gary Oldman, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
Talk about a layered character.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely one of my contenders if I had picked it. I mean, you got him, you got. Personally, I have nostalgia for Jekyll Khan, but I mean, technically, Megamind could have been put in this category because he is essentially a villain. But I'd put it on rounds.
All right.
Well,
This debate would have had more Barry B. Benson in it.
Well, maybe you'll get it next time.
Okay.
Well, that was a fun experiment, guys. I have to admit, I did enjoy myself.
Definitely a better second half than a first half. It kind of came around in the second half. It's like, okay, this is a normal Disney debates episode, but yeah, kind of some learning curves there.
That's the most unpredictable.
Well, like DreamWorks, it was subversive of our usual Disney debate.
Yeah, definitely was. All right.
Did you guys all have fun?
Yeah.
Well, it's been one heck of a ride, folks. Hopefully we get to see more of this kind of debate, and maybe, although I think for a while we might just stick to the regular formula for a while before we try and get ambitious once again. Although I'm not opposed to trying this anymore. Although we will admit it does need a bit of refinement.
For sure.
But again, I had fun, and I'm glad everybody had fun, and I hope everybody at home had fun watching. Until next time.
Roar.